So we'll just let in these participants one by one and explain to everyone that's joining. You guys will see 15 or so new faces joining us for this amazing Pearl of Wisdom, which is our 40th. Oh my goodness, Mynoo, I can't believe it. So we have a full house tonight as we discover the 7 pathways to unleash your magic and the magic in anything and everything. So quite an exciting evening. We're so thrilled everyone is here. Hi, Lee, welcome. Welcome, Linda. Welcome, Vince, Olivia, Sean, Sarah, Kathleen. I know there's still quite a few people that are joining. So it's just such a lovely evening that we have on Thursdays with Mynoo. We're also streaming live on Facebook, which is quite exciting as well. So if anyone can't make it, I know we have quite a few. The good news is you can always watch it live you can watch it as a repeat on Facebook. So I'm gonna turn it right over to you, Mynoo. I know you have an exciting evening in store for us. It's gonna be a short evening from what I understand. So although it will be brief, it will be powerful as always. So excited to learn more, Mynoo, and thank you for letting this all happen in this one evening.
Okay.
So Mynoo, while you're doing that, I just want to welcome everyone again and let everyone know that we have our journeyers here with us tonight. So it is a full house. They are on the journey into miracles, which, as Mynoo and I were discussing earlier, I've actually done 5 times. So my first one being about 10 years ago, and everyone is really in for a treat. We're in that vibration. So I can't wait to hear more on these 7 pathways to unleash your magic and the magic of anything and everything. So back over to you, Mynoo. Can't wait for you to take us on this journey.
Thank you, Catherine. And what I want to do is to just very quickly reiterate what makes for something to be included as a pearl of wisdom. So each pearl has the ability, if you only ever focused on that pearl, it has the ability to literally make this world a world that works for everyone. So that is what qualifies for a pearl. So I'm excited that our pearl of wisdom today is it's unleash, and it's about unleashing the magic of you and anything. Today's session is slightly different in that in the journey to miracles that we have some of our participants here, and we have several of you who've done the journey into miracles. You can certainly in the chat send your wishes to the journeyers. Today's the day we begin that last leg, the last stretch of becoming truly, madly, deeply in love with yourself. So having unleashed the magic of us and understanding the 7 pathways is a perfect foundation for embarking on this leg of the journey to miracles. Today's session, in terms of a pearl of wisdom, is going to be very focused. It's going to be like literally 27 minutes of delivering to you the 7 pathways. So we begin. The first pathway is the pathway that is, the phrase that describes that pathway is uncompromising. It's uncompromising. So uncompromising basically is applied to your belief that there is a magic of you, you know? And whilst I'm such a propagator of celebrating sameness, which is brilliant, and in the context of this pearl of wisdom, really embracing uncompromisingly the belief so that it becomes a knowing that there is something magical about you. Now, with the pearl of wisdom, there's always something very practical for you to actually do. So yes, I say, get present to that you are magical and there is something magical about you, and uncompromisingly get to that space of knowing. How does the mind become uncompromising about these things? The mind will go, okay, And then it'll carry on making sure that you survive. So in my world, you always take your mind along. So what you do here in the context of uncompromising is, acknowledge and anchor the magic of you. Make it real. Make it real by taking some time and getting to uncover for yourself, based on your own life experiences, going as far back as you possibly can. So look at you. What is magical? What has been magical? Now, sometimes it's difficult for us to uncover and put the spotlight on us, what's magical about me. But we can find magical experiences, magical happenings that have taken place in our lives, and magical incidents that might have occurred, magical places that we might have visited. That's okay. The key thing is start with something, and then you can start deciphering it. So in that incident, the fact that I felt the way I did, see if there is something that shows up for you to write down as, this is the magic of me. This is Unleash, the 7 pathways to unleash the magic of you. And in fact, you can apply these pathways to unleash the magic of anything. Now, you can apply uncompromising to your relationships. You can apply uncompromising to your home, to your environment, to certain life experiences that may even feel very unpalatable. There is the fact that you're still here, those experiences occurred, you experience whatever you experienced, and here you are, listening to this pearl of wisdom that is inviting you to do a deep dive to uncover the magic of you, and asking you to be uncompromising in this belief. Now, when you become uncompromising in this belief and you actually anchor it with anchor it practically by noting down all that is magical about you, you start converting that belief into a knowing. So remember, the first thing is you believe, okay, there's something magical about me. You believe it in an uncompromising way. You begin by writing it down. Even if you only write one thing, you can expand from there. You embark on the journey of data to knowing. And remember the journey, there are many of you who've heard me say this many times before, data converts to information. When you engage with that information and you do some deciphering, from that it becomes knowledge. When you implement that knowledge, it becomes wisdom. And the more you apply that wisdom, it then gets anchored in a knowing. So in this pathway, by doing what we are asking you to do, you actually really uncompromisingly convert the data of acknowledging what is magical about you, what is magical about a particular situation, what's magical about a particular relationship. You're fast tracking your journey from data to knowing. The main thing to remember is just in you writing it down, it is still in a data stage. So engage with what you have written. The moment you read what you've written again, there are some light bulbs that start going up and some connections start to happen. And that immediately converts the data into information. And then the moment you engage with, okay, so what do I do with this? Remember the so what do I do with this? You're now on the journey of converting that information into knowledge. And it is in the implementation of this knowledge. And the implementation of this knowledge could be you looking for how you express this magic of you. And actually choosing, today I'm going to be uncompromising about actually sharing this magic of me. And you're now very rapidly into converting knowledge into wisdom. And it's the more you implement, the more it starts getting anchored into a knowing. The second pathway to unleash, which is unleashing the magic of you and the magic of anything, is nimble. Nimble is agile. There's nothing heavy about feeling unleashed. And we know that, right? When we feel blocked, we feel burdened, we don't feel unleashed. The key thing to know here is that sometimes there are things that go on in our minds or in our heads, and we give, something occurs, we give meaning to it, and then we start engaging with the meaning. The meaning starts to become reality. Our mind is going crazy because the meaning and the taking the place of reality is not what it is. So it's as if an internal conflict starts to propagate, and we get more and more and more burden. Nimbleness goes away, and you're not feeling unleashed. You don't feel agile, because there's so much stuff that you believe you have to deal with first before you can take this next action. But remember, it all began, the heaviness happened because you went on a spin, and that was a matter of your choice. So the way to work with nimble as a pathway is, and remember, everything has an intention. This pathway, the intention is literally to unleash you, to literally drop the burdens. So to have access to this pathway, the fact that this pathway is nimble and it gives you the agility, unleashing occurs, and you'll make very rapid progress to wherever it is that you wish to go. So the way to access this pathway is, first of all, to understand that I took something on a spin and gave it meaning. And then I forgot what actually happened. I always only related to what happened through the lens of the meaning I gave it. And that just generated even more meaning. The meaning-making machine that we hold within us is a regenerative machine. So the moment a fact gets converted into a meaning, the regeneration has begun. And it is of your making. So you're always nimble. This is the key thing to know. Remember, we are a soul being having a human experience. So as a soul being, there is tremendous nimbleness and unleashing, that it is natural. It's a natural state. So that exists. The cellular memory of nimbleness exists within us at a soul level. It does not go away. We just get disconnected from it. And the more we engage in the meaning that we've given to things, the further away we get from the experience of nimbleness. So all you are to do, if you feel burdened, you don't feel nimble, you don't feel agile in any situation, remember, it is a burden that holds you back in all situations. I see why each of these pathways is a pathway to unleash the magic of you and unleash the magic of anything. So all you are to do is to just really engage with, okay, I am here, I'm not feeling nimble, I'm not able to take this next step and be able to run or spring forward. There's some heaviness here. What occurred? Let me just look at the facts of what occurred in my life. What I do when I do something like this is I literally take sections of my life, the last 5 years. Let's look at some of the facts of what occurred, where I might have put meaning to it. And all you have to do is, the moment you acknowledge what occurred, the meaning drops away. Because your intention when you're walking on this pathway is to re-embrace nimble, get that agility back. That's the magic of these pearls of wisdom. The actions aren't to go into big, long, convoluted analysis. It literally is, just know I'm walking this pathway. I'm going to uncover what occurred, last 5 years, last 10 years, last 15 years, go as far back as you want. And the moment you keep connecting to the facts of what actually occurred, the meaning drops away, the meaning drops away, the meaning drops away. You will start experiencing the nimbleness and agility. The third one is lock, stock, and barrel. This pathway is all about, and this is a very big body of work that we are about to begin today, is when you're talking about the magic of you, you literally look at you, lock, stock, and barrel, the good, bad, ugly, and beautiful, all of you. If you're looking at uncovering the magic of a particular situation, when you're walking this pathway, you look at that situation, lock, stock, and barrel. The whole thing, the whole thing. Even if you feel that really you only could influence this part, all of this other stuff was somebody else's domain. And I couldn't have helped it. It was the environment out there. Well, whatever. You look at the fullness of where you are at. How did you contribute to that particular situation? How did you allow that situation to take you off track? How did you allow something that hit you to become a curveball that took you off path? This isn't about beating yourself up. This is really literally just about taking ownership of the fullness of your experiences is determined by you. So if you are to unleash the magic of you, walking this pathway, you literally go in and look at all of you. And in amidst the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful, you will still find magic of you. To me, when I talk about what is magical about me, I always look at, well, how do I determine that? What do I feel? What do I look like? I just find like a natural smile appearing. I see the sparkle in my eyes has the sparkle of wonder. So you'll define what it is for you. But for now, if there's something that really automatically brings this big beaming smile and you feel that sparkle in your eyes, that's where you're in that state of magic of you. So you hear your examination to have access to this is really examining and owning, coming from a state of knowing that in the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful, there is a magic of you. Despite whatever might have occurred and whatever situations that keep repeating themselves, that you keep, that have become like a story that you keep telling, they are all big offenders, but they're just big offenders that are in the spin stage. They have no impact whatsoever on the magic of you. So by here owning up, acknowledging consciously with awareness, lock, stock, and barrel, what is magical about you, what is, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, in you personally, in any relationships, in any situations, it allows you to feel unleashed. Even if you're going to complete or end a relationship, by following this pathway, you do it with the fullness of your conscious awareness, and that completion is complete. Many times we say we are moving on, and we don't do this, and you never move on. It shows up in your choices about how you conduct yourself in other relationships, or what kind of relationships you go into, what kind of work situations you find yourself in. That's only because this lock, stock, and barrel pathway hasn't been worked through in its completeness. The fourth pathway is eloquence. Eloquence applied to how you declare, how you express, how you literally use the sound of your own voice. And it's, even if you are not able to speak, there is a resonance. That is the sound of your voice. And I'm sure you have experienced it. I certainly have. That you may be in the presence of people, certain people, they say nothing. And it's as if there is complete clarity with which they show up. There is an eloquence about their presence. This is the this is the nuance about this pathway. Eloquence is in fact the eloquence of your presence. So in the context of unleashing, when you are walking this pathway of eloquence, sure enough, you start to find comfort, even when you feel uncomfortable, to physically be able to express the magic of a particular situation, what you experience as something that is uplifting and nurturing in a particular relationship, even if 99% of the things are completely wrong about it, there is at least 1% that is nurturing. Acknowledge that. Does not mean you don't acknowledge the 99% that isn't. Be eloquent about that also. But when you actually begin this pathway by focusing that eloquence on you, you actually have you have the gravitas. You literally land in a point of um, in a point of inner stability to be able to very freely and eloquently talk about that which is magical about any situation that you may be handling that may not be that palatable. It gives you the prowess or the power to manage situations as opposed to be consumed by them. And that allows you to be in a creative state. And really, what you're doing is when you physically start implementing eloquence, you're really sharpening the expression of the eloquence of your presence. And you're becoming comfortable to present your presence. And when you become comfortable with that, you are whole and complete and completely present in any situation. It's quite special. This pathway is a very special one. I mean, I have to say, I loved the idea of being able to write, and all I could do in my not that long ago incarnation was write bullet points or write commercial business reports until I embarked on my spiritual journey of awakenings. And it didn't take that long. Within 3 weeks, this eloquence in my expression had come in. Within a matter of a year, I just started writing. My vocabulary completely transformed, not because I had a coach or anything like that. It all exists, within us. So just begin by, acknowledging the magic of you and getting that eloquence and how you declare it, how you share it. The miracle journeyers, you have access to many tools to be able to communicate all of this with great love. And that starts to get you comfortable. And you are able to be present in the eloquence of your own presence. The fifth pathway is allowance. Allowance is really an art form. It is an art of allowing. And it is one that I say to everyone, begin with baby steps. Allow yourself to acknowledge yourself. Allow yourself to receive. Allow yourself to accept that which is coming to you in the form of acknowledgement of what you have contributed, what you have made happen. Allow yourself to even receive the fullness of any criticism that might be coming your way. Because in its fullness, remember, where there is good, there's bad, where there's ugly, there's beautiful. Everything coexists anyway. And it's through the art of allowing, you can work with what I call as the science of allowing, where you examine, quite precisely what just occurred. And you connect the dots. But really, the allowance has really only got three parts to it. You acknowledge, you receive, and you accept. You allow yourself to acknowledge where you stop yourself. You allow yourself to acknowledge where you push something that might be presented to you as a gift to you. You push that away. You allow yourself to see where stuff that is occurring outside of you is in fact a reflection of what is occurring inside of you. And you receive the learning, receive the insights, and you accept what is. That allows you to move forward, and you feel unleashed. This is also, allowance by itself is a pearl of wisdom. So we will work with allowance at some future date when I'm guided to. So just be aware of that. The sixth pathway is a very interesting one, and it's one with its synchronicities. When you are embarking on this unleashed journey, and by the time you get to number 6, having worked with the first 5, you start experiencing and seeing synchronicities. The power of these synchronicities, they are an indicator, and they hold the power to create a multiplier effect that is a manifestation multiplier. And how you work with synchronicities as a pathway to unleash the magic of you or the magic of anything is by starting to acknowledge the synchronicities. Acknowledge the synchronicities that have occurred in your life. Again, this is another one of those which I have great fun doing. And when I began, I literally would take last 5 years, last 10 years, last 15 years, right? And initially it was like 1 or 2 things that came up. And then, and I still do it. I still do it just for the fun of it. You know, right now we are in a slipstream. Wow, full of synchronicity opportunities here. You know, and the more you acknowledge the synchronicities, the more the universe starts connecting the dots, and all of those synchronicities literally connect up for you to realize your intention, your resolve. So when you embark on this pathway, it's a very active one which requires a good, nice journal with lots of pages in it. And you go for it. You've done it. You've done the one cut. You can say, okay, this week I'm going to acknowledge the first 5 years of my life, you know, the last 5 years. And each day you will see by the end of the 7th day, there'll be so many that'll show up. Begin the journey. Don't rush it. In your acknowledgement of synchronicities multiply, and they provide the horsepower for you to manifest anything. The 7th pathway is honing, and it literally is laser beam honing of the unleashing of you. Like it's done, you've experienced it, and you can unleash not just the magic of it, of you or the magic of anything. You can unleash the power, the intention behind anything and everything that ever has occurred, is occurring, or will ever occur. Remember, there is no time, everything is a vibration game. So vibrationally, everything exists and continues to do so. So when you are embarking on this 7 pathways to unleash the magic of you and the magic of anything, and you hone in on synchronicities, on allowing, you know, really acknowledging and allowing yourself to acknowledge, receive, and accept, you hone in on the eloquence of presencing your presence and lock, stock, and barrel, accepting everything about you, about any particular situation, you know, and really owning the fullness of the magic of you. You step into your regalia being nimble. Even though you are in this majestic, magnificent, royal attire, and you become uncompromising in living the magic of you. Those are the 7 pathways to unleash. Thank you. Over to you, Kendra.
Well, if anyone's looking at Linda right now, I think that gesture kind of says it all. It's mind-blowing. Wow. Thank you, Mynoo. We're not going to take too much time because I know you are on to the journey into miracles. And we're so, so happy that all of you were able to join tonight. So yes, my word is wow. If anyone wants to offer up a word for Mynoo, for the journeyers, for this information that Mynoo has brought forth. Yes, Mynoo, you said it well. Short, sweet, and to the point. Laser beam all the way. So thank you all for coming tonight. Again, if there's anything, I will just read these words. A joyful ride, absolutely.
Catherine,
And we have
Catherine, I suggest we just receive all of these words, anchor them, and we will send everyone that is not in the journey into miracles. You can leave the meeting now. Thank you so much for joining. Enjoy the 7 pathways to unleash. And we will, if you haven't left the meeting, we'll put you in the waiting room so that you can leave when you are ready to leave. But thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy.
love you all. Good night.